In this video, I'm going to show you what women are actually noticing about you before you even say one word. Because attraction doesn't start when you open your mouth, it actually starts long before that. So let's hop on in. Number one, and I'm going to just point out five quick things here just to let you be self-aware. You choose what you want to do with the information. So, my first point is your body language, and this is not in order of importance. These are just five things that I know that I actually quickly use, and I know other women use them as well. So, your body language is going to say a lot about you in certain situations, regardless your body language you're using when you're approaching and actually in a conversation with a woman that you are attracted to, or just how your body language is moving about the room. So if you're in a social situation, women are going to notice your body language um, instantly. They're going to notice if you're nervous, if you are or are not comfortable in your own skin, in your own masculine frame. They're definitely going to notice your posture. So if your shoulders are slouched, you're rolled in, you're not really making eye contact, that's going to tell a woman you're not confident. You may be shy, a bit introverted, have social anxiety, perhaps. And I'm not saying um, anything right or wrong about it, good or bad. Look, we're in the 3D reality here. People are always going to make judgments about us regardless. So I'm sure based on what she's observing about your body language, she's judging something about you. I'm just going to keep it real. That doesn't mean that judgment is going to stay there, depending on if she starts a conversation with you, you start a conversation with her, she gets to know you. But a few things I always point out that are real attractive in anyone, not just men, as far as body language, is someone who is facing you, someone who is present, a man who is present, grounded, focused, actively listening when you're saying something, maybe even leaning in to show that they're more interested in what you're saying. Um, Eye contact, hands down, because that's such an intimate place to be with anybody. If you can hold eye contact with someone, it says a lot about you. It says that you're confident in yourself. You're not afraid of intimacy. You're not afraid to look at somebody. I always say, like, the eyes are the seat of the soul. You're not afraid to look not just at that person, but into them. So eye contact, hands down. Obviously, too, your posture. Are you comfortable in your frame? Are your shoulders not slouched and open, chest open, heart open? So these things do matter, and women do observe them and look at them, and are probably going to judge you based off of your body language, especially if you're approaching her. And it's going to tell her a lot about you, like I said, before you even say a single word. So let's go on to point two. Okay, your state, your emotional state. And remember, fellas, I always remind you, women are highly intuitive. So they're going to feel something from you before they even hear you, right? Women are big into feeling, and they are in tune with other people's feelings. So they're going to notice if you are nervous, if you have anxiety, if you're shy, if you're confident, calm, a bit more relaxed in your own energy. They're going to notice if you are I don't want to say forthcoming. I'm trying to not aggressive, but I guess just confident in your own skin. They're going to notice if you're arrogant, right? Just about, the way you are carrying yourself and holding your own energy. Women can sense this and feel it right away. We are feeling beings. We usually tune into our feelings way more than men do. And sometimes women make decisions based off of their feelings, not necessarily off of their thinking or logic. It is what it is. So, you may hear a woman say, like, I loved your energy, or I like the energy you carry about you. That's because she's paying attention to your emotional state And women can pick up on this again before you even speak. So just remember, people feel who you are before they hear what you say. And this is why, I don't know what videos you're watching. You may have heard certain people say, people will remember how you made them feel. So, something to be self aware of. And we'll go on to point 3 right now. And women definitely pay attention to how you treat other people. So I'm going to say this again. She may be observing, especially if she's picked you out of a crowd and she likes you or she likes the way you look. She's going to observe how you're treating other people, how you're treating the bar staff, the restaurant staff, waiters, servers, cashiers. She's going to maybe observe how you are interacting with your group of people that you're there with, whether it's your coworkers, teammates, friends, family. Women always observe this, and this says a lot about your character and how who you are as a man. That definitely leaves clues for a woman, so she can pick up on this if she's being observant and looking about the room and noticing how you're dealing and handling different people, whether or not she can hear the words coming out of your mouth or not. Body language and energy can say so much about a person, and that's why you talked about those first before I went into this, because that goes into how you treat other people. And she may even be nosy if she's sitting beside you at a bar and see you close out and leave the check. She may even look over there to see how much you're tipping, right? And that may tell her a lot about you as well before you even talk to her, if she can see the check or if she sees like the amount of cash you pulled out for a tip. So, something to be very aware of, very mindful of. I definitely pay attention to how men treat other people, especially in the hospitality industry, because I used to be a bottle service waitress and a bartender for over 10 years. So, that's something that's very important to me, in a man's character, about how he treats the people in his life and the people he's doing business with, whether that is he's just buying a drink or he's, closing a deal. So that's something to be very aware of. Um, Women value that. If that's something that's important to their values, they're going to value this and they want to see if you're measuring up. Okay, number 4. This is one of the most important points. Your appearance, your style, your grooming, hands down. And one of them is hygiene, good hygiene or poor hygiene. Now, I went into detail about this in another video I have. I'll link it here, about the 3 big turn offs for women. And one of them was hygiene. So I want to point that out first and foremost before I go into anything else. This is not about whether you are rich or wear designer brands. It's about, do you look like you take care of yourself? So, hygiene, first and foremost, that's going to tell a woman a lot about you before you even speak. So, if you are definitely not in gym clothes and you don't smell well, she's going to know and assume that you don't take care of yourself because of what your body odor is giving off. Uh, Something to definitely think about, and that doesn't just go with like washing and bathing yourself. It goes with like your hygiene around your health, your mouth, oral hygiene, not just physical. But she's also going to look at another few things like, do your clothes fit properly? Like, for example, I stop in my tracks when I see a man in a suit that is made for him, in a suit that is tailored for him, and that fits him great and that highlights his physique. Such a turn on. I love a man in a great suit that just looks good, colors coordinating, fit is right. So she's going to notice things like this, and not just in if you're in a suit, regardless of what you're in. She was looking at like, is your shirt wrinkled or not? Are your shoes clean or not? I used to work in Union Station in Washington D.C. Not shining shoes, but they had a shoe shiner there, and I would always be intrigued with the guys who would go there and get their shoes shined. I think that's such a great thing to do for yourself, especially when you have on a suit or dress clothes to make sure your shoes look just as good as your clothes. So she's going to notice things like that. Um, Obviously, and then we're going to personal grooming. She's going to notice if, you have a good haircut or not. If you have a beard, if you groom your beard and it's properly groomed and cleaned and it complements, your face and your look. Cologne is a big one. She's going to notice if you have a dabble on and it's adding to your look and your vibe and it smells good. It's nothing like a good, clean, good smelling man. It's just so yummy. But a man who has buried himself, like he's bathed in cologne, big turn off for me. I'm sensitive to smells. And actually, I'm more sensitive to synthetic smells, not natural smells. I actually, if a man is coming from the gym and he's still giving off his pheromones and sweat and everything, I actually like that smell. It's more like natural and mainly to me, depending on what you eat and how you take care of yourself, right? Because the sweat comes out through your pores. But if you bathe in cologne, big turn off for me personally. It almost feels like you're hiding something, like you're trying to hide something and cover something up, as of putting just a little bit on and being like, I'm good, and letting your natural pheromones blend in with that cologne so that it actually smells good and it's complementing your look and your body smell versus you bathing in it. I will never forget when I walked past a man and he's smelled like he's bathed in cologne. I'm like, ugh. Same thing with cigarette smoke. I'm just like, oof. So, she's going to notice these things, especially guys, if you like a smoker or you smoke weed or you vape and you're giving off that, big turn off to women. Remember, we have a more sensitive olfactory system, which governs like your sense of smell, much more sensitive in our bodies. So, just some to put you on to some game and help you be self-aware of that. I'm not saying you need to change anything. I'm just saying this is what women notice before you even say anything out of your mouth. And it may even determine if she's going to go further with you and or not. And if she cares about you and you're dating her, she's probably going to say something, right? Something to take note of. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you how to handle the situation. I'm just saying this is what women pay attention to before you even say anything out of your mouth. And just to end it here, a woman may not remember your shirt color. If she's really detailed, she will. But she will remember the overall impression you created with your look, your appearance, your grooming, everything. And just a little tidbit here, bonus info before I go. This has to do more if you're in a relationship or if you're dating. Guys, please manscape. If you are grooming or not down there, she's going to notice. And if she doesn't say anything to you, and it's bad, she's definitely talking about you to her girlfriends that it was bad, that some pubic hair got caught in her mouth or something. So just saying, it actually shows how much you take care of yourself when you manscape and make an effort down there, if you know what I mean. In this one, I feel like I wanted to add it, but I don't know, maybe hit or miss. Number 5 is your pace. Your pacing, it is important. And I usually talk about more pacing when you are dating somebody or you're in a relationship, because I always say the woman kind of holds the threshold of the emotional pacing in a relationship or when you're dating her. But I'm talking about more pace before you even say anything out of your mouth or when you first start to connect with a woman. It has to do, it's kind of a bit overlap in your state, but a woman is going to notice if you are rushing or forcing or trying to rush the pace to get her number, or rush through the conversation, or rush to get over to her to talk to her. um, or she's going to notice if your pacing is calm, relaxed, grounded. You're not rushing through the room. You're talking to people at your own pace. You're doing your thing in your room. I mean, you're doing your thing in this room if you're in a social situation and this woman is observing you. Um, so something to just remember: talking too fast, moving too fast, nervous energy, you're just always in a rush, or you're again trying too fast, too hard, too much. A woman is going to notice that because, a healthy masculine man, a grounded man doesn't need to force anything, doesn't need to rush, doesn't need to move fast, right? To get to a woman, to talk to a woman. He's going to move at his own pace. Um, and that's going to tell a woman a lot about how you move and how you're possibly going to handle her moving forward. So, those are my 5 uh, things that I wanted to show you that women notice about you before you even say one word out of your mouth. If you like this video, press that thumb button, like the video, send it to a man who could use the message so they can be more aware as well. And subscribe to the channel if you want to stay, on top of when I come out with a new video. I've been going live more. So, or when I'm going live, and if you have a problem with confidence, I have a free confidence audio training below. So click on the link, give me your email, and you'll get that sent right to your email box. And that will help you because it'll also make you aware of like the 5 mistakes that men make with women when it comes to like talking to them and, not having enough confidence. But confidence is built. So this will give you some more insight and hopefully give you confidence to go out there and continue to date so that you can create a fulfilling relationship with your dream woman. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for listening or on the next YouTube Live. Ciao.